Hello, good morning. It's Sherry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you've never been here before, um, again, my name is Sherry, and you've actually um, came to this is my grief journey. I have about 26, 27, something like that, videos um, regarding grief, and they're all just my journey. Um, I would invite you to go back and look at some of the earlier ones, especially my grief journey number 1. Um, it just kind of gives, tells a little bit about my journey. It's from the beginning. I can tell you my husband passed away in 2024, and it has been a journey since. Grief is a journey. It never ends. It changes as time goes on, but it never ends. And so, like I said, I would invite you to listen to some of those. And if you're somebody who has been following me, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. Um, and I didn't say this for the new people, if you like my videos, by all means, like it. Comment if you'd like. I love to read the comments, and and sorry, my cat. Come on, come on. She always likes getting in my videos. This is my kitty Snowball. She loves getting in my videos. But anyway, I was saying to comment if you'd like, or subscribe. But basically, it's just my grief journey, how things are going. If I started this for my own healing, it's been nice. It's been good for me, and if I can help anybody else, I'm enjoying that as well. So now on to my topic for today. First of all, I want to let everybody know I am fine. Made it through the bad weather. I did go to work last night. The roads were fine. My road that I live on, like I've mentioned several times, I live out in the country. So my road has not been traveled at all, period. And so when I left today, it was just still solid white. But it was slush. It was not ice. It was slush. It just slush. And then when I got out to the main road, it was a lot better. And then when I got out to the highway, that was even better. So everything was good. I did come home early from work, and I guess if you've been watching my videos, you know I do that quite frequently. I come home early all the time. But anyway, coming home, I was worried about the back roads to my house, because there's some hills and things like that. But literally everything was good until I turned on my street. Because my street's the street I mentioned that there hadn't been any traffic on it at all. So when I turned on my road, it was still just solid white, and it had been slushy. So I kind of tried to get in between where some cars had drove today, getting out and things. Anyway, but it just sounded awful. It was, and it basically it sounded like ice. It didn't sound like this. It was sounded like it had froze over again. And when I turned into my driveway, now I had been the only one that left my driveway, so it hadn't been driven on. So when I turned in my driveway, I was trying to get right on the tracks that I had gotten out on, but it just didn't sound right. It just sounded, and I was, and then when I actually pulled in and parked, it was when I got out. Because when I got out, when I put my foot down, I knew I was putting my foot down on ice. Everything in my driveway has frozen over. and the road out there has frozen over. So it was just my road. So, it was fine. I got home fine. Everything's fine. It's supposed to get up into the 50s today. All of this should be melted. So, everything will be okay. We are going to get down back into cold temperatures again, but it's okay because it's not supposed to be any rain, sleet, snow, none of that. Ain't supposed to get none of it. Well, anyway, so that being said, the first part of this video was I'm okay. And see, I'm wearing my shirt. Blessed. I like to wear this shirt when I'm really feeling blessed. But I did want to let you know a few things that's about how I was feeling today at work, and I want to know. I want to know if anybody else that's grieving has gone through what I'm fixing to tell you, and because it really bothered me today. But so what basically happened today at work was, if you don't know, I work at Amazon, so I'm pretty busy at work, and I'm on my feet, I'm packing, but your mind wanders. Your mind, my mind can be on so many other things when I'm working. And today, I could not get my mind off of. I kept having memories of. I was having memories of when my husband was sick. I was having so many memories of things that happened here at the house before he went into the hospital, things that happened at the hospital, things that happened when, like his last day of life, his funeral, his everything. I was remembering all of those things that are big triggers and I couldn't stop myself. They just kept popping in my mind, and I kept trying to think of other things, and I kept trying to listen to music or whatever, and those images kept coming in my mind. I don't know why I was thinking of them so much. Most of them were memories of him when he was sick, but but that leads to, you know what I mean? It might start out memories of him being sick, and then it leads to the actual death and all of that. And it just, when I go down that road, it's never a good road to go down. It definitely makes me sad. And I don't know why it was on my mind so much. I don't know why that was on my mind so much today. I mean, it's not just another day. I mean, it's not, but it's been on my mind a bunch. And I'm going to try to get it off of my mind. I know these are memories that'll never go away. These are implanted in my mind, but like I said, they're massive triggers. I mean, anybody that's lost somebody knows that when you start, and in my case, my husband was sick, so I have those memories of him being sick, and, in somebody else's case might be something that happened suddenly, could car accident or something, but those are also memories you're going to always have, and they're not good memories. They're, and I guess my question to you is, I know everybody has these memories that we really don't want to think about, but if you ever have a day where you just think about it over and over and over and over, what are some things you do to try to not think about it? Because I've told myself all night long, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about that. And it wasn't working. It kept just appearing in my mind. And so any ideas anybody has, I mean, I was at work, so it wasn't like I could do a whole lot. I mean, I can put on my headphones, listen to music or whatever, and I tried that. It didn't really work. But anyway, if anybody can give me any ideas, I would appreciate that. I know that all of us, and I also, what I say, it's okay to not be okay. So I was having not an okay day as far as that goes. I was trying not to think about it. But I know, like I said, I know those are memories that will never, ever, ever go away. I would prefer to have good memories of things that we did together. And, I know, and I know everybody has differences in what they believe. And I'm not trying to make anybody believe any differently. But, I have my beliefs too. And, I know this isn't a belief. This is a no. I know that I had a very special love with my husband. We were together 36 years. He was my soulmate. It was a bond. We had such a bond. I could answer he could be talking and I could answer his question before he even got it out. And vice versa, he could do the same. And we just knew each other's thoughts. And so definitely I've, lost my other half. But that being said, we had such a connection and such a bond that I know that bond's still there. I know it's still there. He's just not physically here. And I know he's here in spirit. And he's with me. And like I said, that's my belief. You might not believe that, but I believe that he watches over me every day. I believe that he's here. And that's not to say that he's not in heaven, because I do believe that too. But I believe that he's, I believe he watches over me. I believe in angels. I definitely believe in angels. They're on the same team, Okay? I mean, angels are there. Angels help us every day. And not to get into all of this about that, because I'm not trying to push my beliefs on anybody. Everybody's got their own beliefs. And what my videos are mainly about is grief and how to deal with grief. And however, that being said, the two things that have helped me the most in dealing with grief, and I mentioned this in the very first video, long time ago, but I'll mention it again. There has been the two things that have helped me the most. First thing that's helped me the most, and besides my best friend, she helped me in so many ways that she doesn't even realize that she helped me with. She actually went to the funeral home with me. I mean, she was there for me when I needed somebody to be there. And so that is something that will never, ever, ever be forgotten. But something that helps me personally in my grief, first and foremost, is God. I have leaned on God a lot. And God has let me know that he's carried me. And Again, I'm not trying to push my beliefs on anybody, but that's the big thing that helped me was God. The other big thing that helped me, and I said this in video number 1, but I'll say it again. The other thing that helped me a lot, I went and saw a medium. And she, first of all, and I know not everybody believes in that, and that's okay. And I didn't really know what I believed at the time when I went to see this medium. I mean, I didn't know. I just knew that I wanted to do that. And I went. First of all, she is the most amazing person. Besides being a medium, she's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person. And she, anyway, I had a reading with her, and she definitely showed me proof, evidential proof, that she was talking to my husband, which is what I needed so badly. And so I, you know, I had a lot of guilt that I was dealing with. That all just goes to him being in a rehab place that he didn't want to go to, and I just was doing what the doctor said, that's what he needed to go there. He was only there one night and died the next day. So I was dealing with a lot of guilt. And through seeing her, she let me know that he wanted me to let go of that guilt, that I didn't have anything to feel guilty about. And I'm actually surprised that I'm able to say this without tearing up. But the last time I mentioned it in a video, I was bawling like crazy. But I wanted to bring up the fact that the two things that helped me the most was God and a medium. And you can have both, okay? People think you can't, and people think that it's not of God and all this, but that's, I'm not trying to push my belief on you, but I can tell you that it's, I have a relationship with God, and I saw a medium, and it was fine. God was okay with that, okay? But the other thing I want to say, I mentioned the medium that I saw was such a sweet, sweet, sweet girl. Well, it turned out she has become a friend. She has really, really become a friend. And she has been there, and, and this has nothing to do with her work or anything like that. Just a friend that texts me and, how you doing? And it means so much. And it's, and it's just, and we would have never connected had I not ever gone to see her. And through it, I've gotten a friend. So, you never know who God puts in your path and why. And it just, we can all use somebody, and whether you believe in that or don't believe in that, is not the point in all this. The point is that there's so many different things. There's so many different things that can help you in your grief. And whatever you decide to do is okay. Whatever you decide, whatever route you decide to go, that's your journey, and it's okay. It may look different than my journey, and that's fine. You're doing what's right for you, and I'm doing what's right for me. And so I just wanted to kind of bring that up, that, you know, that's what I've done, but that's just because that's what I do doesn't mean that that's right for you. And, but, um, that's the two things that help me the most. And, and then, and then of course I've taken some trips. I've taken trips on a bus tour, which has been wonderful. I was going to take one in March and I've canceled it. I've canceled that trip. Well, to be perfectly honest, for financial reasons, I got some other things that I need to get done here at my house, and so I'll take a trip probably later in the year. And actually, where I'm wanting to go is to Grand Canyon, and I'm taking these bus tours, and the cool thing about them is that I'm going places I've never gone before, which that's something that I think is good for me too. So, you know, I try to stay positive, but and I've told you this. I've told you, I've told you about grief's a journey, and it's okay to not be okay. But I've also told you that I sometimes go like this, so just like a roller coaster. Sometimes my emotions are, I'm fine, and then I'll whoof, and I'll be bad, and then I'll go back up, and then I'll be back down, and like I mentioned at work today, I kept thinking about I'm sorry, my foot moved the camera. But I kept thinking about everything, about when my husband was sick and everything we went through together as he was sick. And he's the one that really went through it. And I don't know why those memories were just so. I was all night long, I kept thinking about all of that. And those are bad triggers. Those are bad triggers because you just want to cry. And when I'm at work, I try real hard to not cry. And, but, something else, I'm going to bring this up. I've been asked a lot. I've been asked, have I ever had any signs? Do I believe in signs? Have I had signs? First, to answer that question, yes, I've had signs. And yes, I absolutely believe that our loved ones can send us signs. And in saying that, I had the first sign from him day one. Okay, so, and I'll just tell you a little bit about this before I end this video. The first day he died, of course, I was upset. I was crying. My best friend came to the hospital. She was there with me. And thank God, because I would have been all alone again. And that was my journey. That was my initiation into, you're going to be alone for a while. But anyway, I came home. And of course, I was crying. I went and laid in the bed and just cried, hugged the pillow. And at one point, while I'm laying in the bed, I turned my head and I looked here in the living room, and I have a picture on the wall. It's a picture of Colorado, and it was my husband's picture. He bought it when he was in Colorado. It's a picture of the mountains from Colorado. That thing has hung there for years. But the way I was laying in the bed and I looked up at it from that angle, I could see his face was just all in the mountains. I could see his face, and he was looking at me. And it immediately brought me comfort. because he was letting me know that he's still with me and he's watching me. And that is still like that. That was my very first sign, and it is still like that. When I lay in that bed and look at that picture, that's what I see. I see that. I don't see the mountains. I see that. I'm actually staring at the picture right now in the living room, and I see the mountains. Okay, that's what it is. It's a picture of mountains. But when I'm laying in the bed, I see his face. And, you know, y'all may think I'm crazy. I don't know. But that's just one of many signs. I have gotten many signs from him. And I totally believe in signs. I believe if you really pay attention, if you really are looking, if you open your ears, you know, your eyes, your ears, your senses, if you're open to it, you might be amazed at the things that you might see and hear. And that being said, I'm not an expert in all of that, but I'm just saying what I believe. And so I'm going to go, before I end this video, remember to try to think of one positive thing today. And also count your blessings. Count your blessings because they're there. You know, I just heard actually just today. Everybody. In making these videos, I mentioned it was cold and everything. I just heard today that not in the town I live in, but I live in the city, a city closest to me. There was a homeless man that died in his tent. He froze to death. So, I mean, it's very, very sad. And so, count your blessings. You know, I always think about stuff like that and think, you know, I have a home, I have food, I'm warm, and also even in grief, there's, you know, definitely when we've lost somebody, we think it's really easy to think that we're the only ones going through it, and I can promise you we're not. There's some, you know, and I read a story about 3 little boys that drowned in a pond just the other day. They went outside playing in the snow, there's a pond, and they thought they'd walk across the ice, and the ice broke and they fell in and drowned. So somebody lost all her children just like that. So I'm only saying that, I mean, it's incredibly sad and my heart goes out to them. But I promise you they're grieving really bad right now. And I can't even imagine what it would feel like to lose one child, let alone 3. Like I said, my heart goes out to them. But the point in saying the story is, you know, it's really easy for me to just feel all sorry for myself, but then I have to realize there's other people that have lost people too. I'm not the only one. I'm not special. I'm not anything. My husband just died, and I'm having to live with it. So I'm going to go to bed now. I think I've rattled too much, said too many things, and I don't know where all this is coming from. But like I said, if you know of a way to get those thoughts out of my mind when they pop on, things I can do, I would appreciate it, okay? So I'm going to end this video and tell everybody just have a very, very, very blessed day. And I hope I didn't offend anybody at all on saying things that I believe. But again, that's just my beliefs. It doesn't mean you have to believe it. Okay? All right. Well, you have a very blessed day. Bye bye.